Welcome to the How to Write a Book podcast, the show that helps you plan, write, and publish your book, even if you're a beginner or just feel like one. Now, for your host, she's written over a dozen books and helps others bring their books to life. Here she is, Maciel.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the How to Write a Book podcast. It is Tuesday, and that is November 10th, 2020. Welcome in, y'all. All right, let's dive in already into Nanowrimo Day 50. And in case you're not doing Nanowrimo, this episode is still for you because during November, we are tackling writer's blocks, those tricky mindset, lies that happen and stop us from creating our novel. All right, so episode number 50 is my novel isn't going in the right direction. Now, this is a tricky one, y'all. Sometimes it feels like as if that novel isn't going in the right direction, and immediately we start thinking like, oh my gosh, it's taking too many turns. It doesn't make any sense. Oh gosh, obviously this is going to be terrible because I'm feeling like it sucks and I'm feeling like it's not going in the right direction. Therefore, it must be bad, right? So this is a tricky one because it makes us feel like as if we're not doing it right. But in fact, what could be happening is that your muse is totally on point. Your muse might be so on point that it's beautiful, like it's a beautiful artwork. So our muse is a really just funny and creative creature. And sometimes as artists, we hesitate to rely on our creativity because in our society, and I think this is more widely based on American society, or at least US society, but I think that also leaks into other cultures and societies as well. But, we're more like, business, logic, numbers, and the muse and creativity gets pushed to the side. And it's like as if we don't know how to handle it. It's like as if you saw a giraffe for the first time and you're like, what is you literally had no idea what a giraffe was, right? And you saw it and you're like, oh my gosh, what is it? And it's moving and now it's eating the trees. Will it eat me? Is it going to come after me? Does it attack? Because there's so many questions and you don't know how to approach this strange creature, right? But once you start to get to know it, you realize, it's like an herbivore. It totally doesn't care if you're there or not. It's like, I'm going to go over here, So the same thing can be said of our creativity. We're unfamiliar with these creatures inside of ourselves. And so it's important for you to get to know your creativity. And this is actually why I keep a book journal, because it has let me know how I work, how my personality works. In addition to that, finding out my Myers-Briggs personality was extremely helpful because then I found out some more things about how I write as a writer. And I'm actually going to write that down right now. I need to talk about that because that has been a game changer for me. So, if you're in National Novel Writing Month or you're simply in the middle of writing your novel, then I want you to let go of that critical editor and simply trust your muse. Your muse might actually be one of the following. It might be doing some of the following. So consider this if you feel like your novel isn't going in the right direction. First, maybe your novel is in parts. Sometimes we have novels on the shelves that come in parts. They're not totally linear. They have different characters' points of view. They have different timelines. Just look at The Witcher, right? I'm talking about the television series. I have not read the books or played the game, but Witcher has different points of view, different timelines. All right. I'm going to stop there because I don't want to spoil anything for you. But it's all part of the genre. It makes the genre, it makes that, and not the genre, but it makes that story. It really makes it what it is. It's almost mysterious and it's fun. And you're like, well, okay, where am I going now? And that's what makes it such a great show. I thought it was a great show and I can't wait to read the book. So consider that your novel might be in parts. Also consider that there's probably more to your story. Perhaps you're really only chipping a little bit off the iceberg. And in fact, what you thought might be a novella might actually be an epic, which is much, 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 much longer. So consider that as well. Also consider that because of the second guessing that you're doing and the doubt that is crawling into your heart, that you're actually bogging down. It's like as if you're trying to roll a car down the hill, but you have the brake on. So instead of having doubt and fear take over, instead let go of the brake and see what happens. And remember that, even if it goes in a lot of different directions, you can always find your way at the end. And that's one of the things I love is sometimes it's just all over the place at first, but at the end you're like, oh my gosh, I get it. And lastly, your muse is a funny creature and it wants to have fun, right? So maybe instead of writing in a linear way and writing in a logical way, this is how your muse loves to play. And it's important to let your muse play, because if your muse isn't having fun, the muse will leave. The muse will be like, well, I'm not needed here. I'm going to go elsewhere where I can explore. So honor your muse, honor how it shows up. All right, y'all, that is the NaNoWriMo Day 50, that your novel is not going in the right direction. Instead, write a letter to your muse and ask your muse what it wants to do on an idyllic writing day without any logics or constraints. All right, y'all, thank you so much, and we will see you tomorrow, and good luck with your writing.
Hey there, writer. Thank you for listening to the How to Write a Book podcast with your host, Maciel Valenzuela. If you like the show, we'd be happy if you left a review. For more information on writing and the writer's life, go to www.themaciel.com. That's www.themassiel.com. We'll see you on the other side.